Welcome to I Love Asian Dramas. If you like this kind of content, please subscribe to the channel to get notified when new videos are uploaded. The title of this Chinese historical romance drama is Love Sickness from My Chi with 24 episodes. The story unfolds in the present day, where the news reports the discovery of a tomb belonging to Duke Chu of Great Liang. Moanin and her friend Xiao Mei visit a museum to admire various artifacts. Anin recognizes a sketch drawing of a thumb ring among the displayed items and feels a strange sense of familiarity. Back at home, Anin searches for and finds the thumb ring. Excited by the thought of striking it rich, she recites a few phrases from the artifact's inscription. Suddenly, she is whisked away to the past. Initially, Anin believes she has stepped into a historical drama. However, when she finds herself in peril, she is rescued just in time by Duke Xiaochu. Realizing she has actually traveled back in time, Anin is imprisoned by him. While speaking with a fellow captive, she learns of Duke Chu's ruthless reputation and grows fearful of her fate. But contrary to her expectations of torture, she is invited by Xiaochu to enjoy a hot pot meal. Anin wonders how he knows her secret recipe for adding sugar, to which Xiaochu replies that some habits never change. Xiaochu is infuriated that Anin doesn't remember him, which leads him to decide she must serve as his maid in his mansion. Meanwhile, Huqi informs Xiaochu that there are no records of Anin's background, yet he refuses to let her go. Determined to escape and retrieve the thumb ring from Xiaochu, Anin accidentally ends up sleeping in his room. When morning arrives, Xiaochu is taken aback to find Anin beside him. While helping him get dressed, Anin tries to snag the thumb ring to prove she doesn't belong in this era. However, Xiaochu catches on and sends her to prison. There, he treats her to some delicious grilled meats, which she happily devours. Though Anin contemplates returning home, she is caught by the charming young emperor, who finds her amusing as she slacks off. Xiaochu apologizes to the young emperor for not keeping Anin in line, but the emperor seems entertained rather than upset. The Empress Dowager invites Xiaochu to a meal, which he declines, prompting Anin to speculate an affair between them. The Empress Dowager, startled by Anin's resemblance to her sister, is visibly flustered. Anin asks Xiaochu if she truly resembles the Empress Dowager's sister, only to be reprimanded for pretending otherwise. She attempts to defend a woman being bullied, but when the bullies turn on her, Prince Ning intervenes, along with Duke Chu, causing the bullies to flee. Prince Ning asks Anin to join him at a poetry meeting, which she eagerly agrees to, envisioning the reward she might win. However, when it's her turn to recite poetry in front of an audience, she finds herself embarrassed, realizing that her piece is already well known as it was penned by Duke Chu years earlier. The Empress Dowager approaches Anin, noting how much she resembles her sister, and reveals that her sister shares a deep love for Xiaochu. However, the Empress Dowager's sister vanished 7 years ago without a word. Given this resemblance, the Empress Dowager suggests that Xiaochu might find comfort in Anin's presence. This leaves Anin feeling unfortunate, as if she were merely a stand-in for someone else. Just then, an unknown assailant attempts to harm Anin, but luckily, Xiaochu comes to her rescue. Prince Ning orders his men to punish the person responsible, but Xiaochu intervenes, insisting on a different approach, and walks away. He then instructs Huqi to investigate everyone at Prince Ning's mansion. Anin confronts Xiaochu, confused about why he halted the investigation. He explains he wants to gather concrete evidence before punishing the perpetrator, leading to a heated argument between them. Meanwhile, Prince Ning informs the Empress Dowager of the close bond between Xiaochu and Anin, which ignites her jealousy. Anin devises a plan to escape from Xiaochu's mansion, but her path is obstructed by an assassin. She flees toward Xiaochu, who skillfully defeats the attackers. Back at the palace, the Empress Dowager worries about Xiaochu's safety following the assassination attempt at his home. He reassures her, but soon after, both she and the young emperor find themselves under attack by assassins. Once again, Xiaochu steps in to protect them. In light of these events, Lord Zhu suggests entrusting the Imperial Token, which can mobilize military forces, to Prince Ning. However, feigning reluctance, Prince Ning declines the offer. Ultimately, the Empress Dowager takes on the responsibility of the Imperial Token. It is revealed that the Empress Dowager and Prince Ning orchestrated the attacks with the aim of weakening Xiao Chu's military power. She tells Prince Ning that her goal was never to hand military power over to him. Anin tends to Xiao Chu's injuries, but feels frustrated when he remarks that her lack of gentleness makes her less womanly. The young emperor busily prepares for his trip to Xiao Chu's mansion to continue his lessons while his teacher recuperates from his injuries. To get the young emperor back on track, Xiao Chu punishes him with the task of copying a textbook. Anin steps in to help, but ends up scolding herself, forced to assist the young emperor with the copying. The young emperor reveals that before his father passed, he expressed concerns about his son having no one to rely on, which led him to ask Xiao Chu to shoulder the country's responsibilities. Eager to grow up quickly and share the burden with Xiao Chu, the young emperor expresses his determination. During a visit from Prince Ning and the Empress Dowager at Xiao Chu's mansion, they witness Anin trying to retrieve a kite from a tree. When Anin falls, Prince Ning catches her, and she thanks him for saving her life. However, he scolds her for engaging in such a dangerous activity as a woman. Anin responds boldly, asserting that women are just as capable as men, which flusters the Empress Dowager and prompts her to leave. The Empress Dowager inquires whether Xiao Chu is interested in rekindling his relationship with Anin, but he insists that it's impossible. She then pretends not to understand his implication that she might have sent an assassin to harm Anin. In a moment of negotiation, Xiao Chu demands that the Empress Dowager ensure Anin's safety in exchange for the Imperial Token, which leaves her heartbroken over her unreciprocated feelings. Observing from a distance, Anin mistakenly assumes that Xiao Chu and the Empress Dowager are involved in an affair. Later, she is surprised to see Prince Ning grilling meat, and he shares his story of having faced hardships due to his father's lack of favoritism. Attempting to escape the mansion once again, Anin is caught by Xiao Chu. When she claims she's only looking to buy Candied Haws, Xiao Chu ends up buying a mountain of them for her. Anin complains about the excessive sugar making her teeth hurt, and while perched in a tree, she defiantly refuses to come down, insisting she's had enough. With a clever ruse, Xiao Chu tricks her into thinking there's a snake on the tree, causing her to fall into his arms, where he playfully mentions giving her an antidote, piquing Anin's interest in him. Xiao Chu reassured Anin that he never harmed her. Instead, he made her believe that he did, as it was the only way to keep her by his side. He emphasized that she wasn't just a stand-in, rather, she was genuinely the Empress Dowager's sister. Despite his repeated efforts to prove his sincerity, Anin remained unconvinced. Together, Anin and the young emperor escaped from Xiao Chu's mansion and slipped into the market. When Anin sensed someone was tailing them, they decided to flee, and she quickly hid the young emperor to ensure his safety. Unfortunately, Anin was captured by Prince Ning, who aimed to obtain the tiger tally to bolster his power. Xiao Chu was taken aback when the young emperor arrived, pleading for him to rescue Anin. At that moment, an arrow appeared, indicating the time and place for exchanging Anin's safety in return for the tiger tally. Xiao Chu returned the tiger tally to the young emperor, who had the authority to command the 3 armies, and emotionally said his final farewell. The Empress Dowager forbade Xiao Chu from attempting to save Anin due to the imminent danger, but he disregarded her warning. In his efforts, Xiao Chu managed to rescue Anin, although he sustained injuries. He confessed that Anin was never a mere substitute in his heart. His feelings for her were genuine. He presented her with a thumb ring and urged her to leave, fearing he might not survive. Overwhelmed, Anin admitted her feelings for him. At Xiao Chu's funeral, Prince Ning proposed to Anin, and she agreed. During his wedding to Anin, Prince Ning boldly declared his rebellion against the reigning emperor. To everyone's surprise, Xiao Chu was alive and apprehended all the rebels. At the duke's mansion, Xiao Chu prayed to his parents, introducing them to his beloved. He gave Anin the thumb ring again and told her it was her choice to either leave or marry him, hoping for her happiness. Anin accepted the thumb ring and agreed to marry him, bringing joy to Xiao Chu as they shared tender moments together. The next morning, Xiaochu shared his dream of traveling throughout Great Liang and living a peaceful life in seclusion. Anin promised to follow him wherever he went, leading to a sweet kiss as the newly married couple. Xiaochu then reported to the palace to inform the young emperor and the Empress Dowager of their marriage, much to the Empress Dowager's dismay. He expressed his intention to eliminate the remaining forces of Prince Ning in exchange for resigning his position, desiring a quiet life with his wife. The Empress Dowager made a deal with Prince Ning. If he could eliminate Anin, she would help him ascend to the throne. She informed Anin that she would never allow her to be with Xiaochu, but Anin retorted that she would not give up on the person she loved. The Empress Dowager then poisoned Anin's tea, rendering her unconscious. Shortly after, Xiaochu received word that Prince Ning had escaped from prison and rushed to the palace. Prince Ning ordered his soldiers to eliminate Xiaochu, while the Empress Dowager commanded her men to dispose of Anin. Ultimately, Xiaochu was overpowered and failed to save Anin. Heartbroken over Xiaochu's death, Anin found herself returning to the present day. In her bedroom, she wept, filled with longing to go back to the past once more. Anin delved into her research on the history of Xiaochu and grew increasingly determined to return to the past. Desperation set in as she struggled to figure out how to make that happen. Meanwhile, Xiaomei became concerned, fearing that Anin might be stepping into danger. Just as Xiaomei expressed her worries, Anin vanished before her eyes, having successfully traveled back in time, leaving her friend puzzled. In the past, Anin found herself falling, but was saved by none other than Xiaochu, filling her with joy at the sight of him alive. However, she quickly realized that the Xiaochu standing before her didn't recognize her. She had arrived at a different time. It dawned on Anin that she had traveled 7 years back to when Xiaochu was just 21 years old. Overwhelmed by the revelation, she made it her mission to protect him in this new timeline. Xiaochu assumed that Anin had been sent by the old emperor and told her to return, as he wasn't interested in that sort of entanglement. He dreamed of exploring the Great Liang. Anin echoed his desire for his safety, supporting his decision to steer clear of politics. Concerned for her well-being, Xiaochu invited Anin to stay with him. When she asked to meet Zhao Yuchan, Xiaochu hesitated but ultimately declined. At the restaurant, Xiaochu found himself challenged to a poetry contest by an acquaintance. Initially reluctant, he was convinced by Anin to participate. To his surprise, Anin had prepared a poem for him, which helped them clinch victory in the contest. Impressed by her talent, Xiaochu agreed to accompany Anin to Zhao Yuchan. When Xiaochu and Anin discovered Zhao Yuchan being bullied by her sister, they quickly intervened, putting a stop to the confrontation. Grateful for their timely arrival, the three enjoyed a cheerful meal together at the restaurant. However, misfortune struck when someone attempted to harm Anin, only for Xiaochu to swoop in and rescue her. Anin sought accommodation at a nearby inn, but the innkeeper turned out to have evil intentions, and she awoke later to find herself being sold. Desperate to save herself, Anin sought to negotiate with her captor, who found her cleverness intriguing. As she started her new job, Anin inadvertently got caught up in a brawl with rude customers. In her moment of need, Xiaochu arrived just in time to save her once again. Meanwhile, Zhao Yuchan was punished by her sister until Anin and Xiaochu stepped in to put a stop to it. After tending to Zhao Yuchan's injuries, Anin's care made a strong impression, leading Zhao Yuchan to view her as more of a sister. In a heartwarming gesture, she asked Anin to become her sworn sister. Anin and Zhao Yuchan were completely absorbed in the opera, while Xiaochu reminded them that it was just a performance and not reality. This comment upset Anin, who was deeply engaged in the story. Lost in thought, she reflected on her past and considered Xiaochu's assertion that life is more important than love. Convinced that being with Zhao Yuchan would keep Xiaochu safe, Anin busied herself with baking a cake. Xiaochu watched her with admiration and suggested she could have the maid cook for her, but Anin insisted on making it herself for his birthday. They ended up playing with the ingredients together. Later, Anin visited Zhao Yuchan and suggested that Zhao Yuchan should marry Xiaochu. Enin informed Zhao Yuchan of her plans that she will help her pursue Xiao Chu, despite Enin's claim that she didn't like him and had someone else in mind. Initially hesitant, Zhao Yuchan felt it was improper for a woman to chase after a man, but Enin encouraged her by emphasizing that men and women should have equal roles in love. Eventually, Zhao Yuchan agreed. Enin prepared a special meal for Xiao Chu's birthday celebration, strategically setting the stage for her matchmaking efforts. They all enjoyed the festivities, and Enin decided to leave early to give Zhao Yuchan a chance to confess her feelings. However, when Zhao Yuchan finally spoke up, Xiao Chu seemed distracted, searching for Enin instead, leaving her disheartened. Later that night, in a drunken moment of heartache, Enin impulsively kissed Xiao Chu, which surprised them both. When morning came, Enin realized she had acted without thinking and had derailed her matchmaking scheme. Determined to help Zhao Yuchan and Xiao Chu connect, Enin devised another plan. She invited Xiao Chu to her room while Zhao Yuchan was in a state of undress, pretending to be an assassin. Unfortunately, the scheme fell flat again, prompting Zhao Yuchan to reconsider their pursuit of Xiao Chu. Seeking clarity, Xiao Chu pretended to be able to gauge their feelings, while Enin acted as if she had forgotten about their kiss, which caused Xiao Chu to smile. When Zhao Yuchan brought medicine to Xiao Chu, she revealed her true feelings, leaving him flustered. He responded that he regarded her as a sister and had feelings for someone else, which upset Zhao Yuchan, causing her to leave. Disappointed with Enin for pushing him toward Zhao Yuchan, Xiao Chu sought solace in drinking. Enin feigned anger at Xiao Chu to steer his affections away from her, leaving both of them feeling disheartened by the choices they had made. Enin decided it was time to leave the Duke's mansion. The next morning, she encountered Prince Ning and plotted to end his life. To get closer to him, she applied for a position as a servant in his household. On her first day, Prince Ning assigned her to care for his orchids, knowing she had some expertise in that area. Later, when Prince Ning's carriage collided with Xiao Chu's, he invited Xiao Chu to catch up since it had been a while since they last met. Enin was taken aback when the Jade Ring went up for auction, causing water to spill while she was serving Xiao Chu. Prince Ning noticed Xiao Chu's interest in his maid, but Xiao Chu dismissed the thought. When Enin attempted to serve Prince Ning poison tea to eliminate him, Xiao Chu intervened, insisting he wanted to drink the poison tea instead. He pretended to be poisoned as a way to tease Enin and discover her true feelings for him, which worked. She secretly liked him too. While Xiao Chu reveled in this revelation, Enin felt exasperated by his little tricks. To make it up to her, he gifted her the Jade Ring from the auction. He then asked Prince Ning for permission to take Enin as his maid because of his feelings for her, to which Prince Ning consented. Enin explained to Xiao Chu that her motive for attempting to eliminate Prince Ning was due to his treasonous intentions towards him, but Xiao Chu found it hard to believe. Zhao Yuchan, witnessing the interaction between Enin and Xiao Chu, realized that her sworn sister was the one Xiao Chu had feelings for. Despite her own heartache, she congratulated the couple. Enin grew concerned about Zhao Yuchan and her impending marriage to the old emperor. Xiao Chu reminded Enin that defying an imperial decree was a serious offense. Nevertheless, Enin encouraged Zhao Yuchan to sneak away during the temple fair. Unfortunately, when Zhao Yuchan tried to escape, her sister discovered the plan and blocked her way, spinning a lie that it was Enin who had betrayed her. This misunderstanding left Zhao Yuchan in disbelief. Enin, anxious that Zhao Yuchan didn't arrive at their meeting spot, found solace in Xiao Chu's reassurances about her becoming a consort. Unbeknownst to both of them, Zhao Yuchan was in tears, consumed by her misconceptions. The next morning, Enin visited Zhao Yuchan, but was met with coldness, as her sister felt betrayed. Zhao Yuchan announced her decision to marry the old emperor and revealed that one of the teas was poisoned, with the drinker facing death in 7 days. In a moment of bravery, Enin drank both teas to prevent Zhao Yuchan from being poisoned. As she prepared for the worst, she made Zhao Yuchan promise never to harm Xiao Chu. Before leaving, Enin expressed her sincere intentions, but Zhao Yuchan remained unconvinced and became angry. Realizing her failure to eliminate Prince Ning and facing only 7 days left due to the poison, Anin found comfort in Xiaochu. With limited time, she presented him with a couple's wish list that outlined how she wanted to spend her remaining days with him, which included a couple's drawing. Anin asked Xiaochu what he would do if she vanished one day. He replied that he would wait for her forever. Xiaochu was soon summoned to the palace because the empress had just given birth to a son. He reassured Anin that they would release a sky lantern together once he returned. At the palace, the frail old emperor worried about his newborn son and tasked Xiaochu with the responsibility of becoming a duke, like his father, to help his son navigate court affairs. This promise would bring the old emperor peace before his passing, knowing Xiaochu would protect his son and stabilize the kingdom. Anin released the sky lantern alone, sensing her time was running out. She fainted and disappeared, leaving Xiaochu devastated by her farewell note. Back in the present, Xiaomei was flustered by Anin's sudden appearance. Anin checked Xiaomei's phone for Xiaochu's history, only to discover it remained unchanged. Determined to safeguard Xiaochu, she recited a poem and returned to the past, leaving her friend in the present. Anin found herself back in the past when Xiaochu was just a 7-year-old boy. She hid the young Xiaochu from assassins, sacrificing herself in the process. Her death brought her back to the present, but once again, she felt disheartened because she hadn't changed Xiaochu's fate. The series ends with Anin visiting a museum where one of Xiaochu's letters to her was on display. Overcome with emotion, she wept for missing him and dropped the jade ring she had been holding. As it fell, someone picked it up, possibly Xiaochu. Hello. Feel free to check out another video or subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed the video, please remember to like and drop a comment below. Thanks a bunch for tuning in.